What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Last night on my live stream, I talked about a judge, a black judge by the name of Kenneth King. He's a Detroit judge, and I spoke about his despicable bully tactics and the ego trip that he was on that was just absolutely unprofessional, uncalled for, and just downright disgusting. So for those who aren't privy to this story, a Detroit judge, he black man, Kenneth King, he had a group of kids come take a field trip to the courthouse, right? They came to the courthouse and they were in his courtroom. And I'm not assuming, because this is exactly what happened. While he was giving a speech about, the court process and the court system, one of the young ladies within that class, that he's talking to was falling asleep. He becomes so upset, so agitated, and go on such an ego trip. He tells the young lady, "You fall asleep in my courtroom one more time, I'm sending you to the back. Understood?" Right? And the girl, I guess, falls asleep again. He takes her to the back, dresses her in a jail uniform, puts her in handcuffs, okay, and marches her back out in front of her classmates as a show. If you go to sleep in my classroom, you go to sleep in my courtroom, this will happen to you, right? And so when he's interviewed about the whole situation, he said, he said, "Does that normally happen? No, but I felt compelled to do it because I didn't like the child's attitude," right? Then he threatened her with jail time, like, "Oh, I'll send you to the juvenile detention center. You keep it up," right? And regardless if the girl had an attitude or not, she probably was mad because she's falling asleep and you're trying to take it to the extreme to put her in handcuffs and bring her to the back. And it just was like, wow, all of this is necessary because she's falling asleep. You gonna put her in a jail uniform, dog? All because he said, in the interview, he's like, "I've never been disrespected like that in my courtroom, ever been disrespected like that." So you were willing to traumatize this young black girl, all to satisfy your ego because you never had nobody fall asleep in your courtroom and you feel disrespected. Come on, fam. You didn't think, "Hey, is everything okay?" You know what I mean? You didn't ask the teacher or nothing like that. You just resorted to that. How do you know this girl doesn't have an at-home situation that's keeping her up at night? You know what I mean? That's causing her to go to sleep in class. And then, lo and behold, we find out that this young lady is experiencing homelessness, right, from her mother. They don't have stable housing at all, and so they're probably going around from place to place. And when you're doing that, you probably will never sleep comfortably, especially when you're sleeping in other people's houses, because kids understand when they become a burden to other people. They don't sleep long out of fear of people thinking, "Hey, you sleeping too long." They don't sleep too comfortably. None of that. You know what I mean? Because they know, and I know people who've been in this situation before. I haven't, but I know people who have been homeless and live with other people. They talk about not sleeping well due to you don't want to seem too comfortable in somebody else's house. You don't want to seem like too much of a burden. People get annoyed at you feeling, with you sleeping real good, snoring and all of that. They don't sleep well. You know what I mean? But he didn't think about any of this. He just resorted to, "Oh my God, how dare she? How dare she?" He went on an egotistical power trip, abusing power. See, it's a lot of people who can't wait to get into a position of prominence over people to trash people, to treat them less than. They go to school and get into these high-ranking positions in order to trash and belittle people. They can't wait to do it because they are power hungry. They've been waiting for a moment for them to be on top, especially if they've been bullied as a kid, if they've been singled out as a kid. They can't wait to get into a position to do it to other people who have not wronged them at all. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people who got all these degrees and all of that, and they are trifling people. They are disgusting people. They're despicable individuals. Kenneth King is a clown with a law degree, okay? And so I'm looking at this like, yo, this is ridiculous, fam. Putting her in handcuffs in a jail uniform because you mad she went to sleep? Like, what are you on? But again, I saw a segment, a clip of him during a court case via Zoom. He's talking to the female attorney and he's disrespecting her, talking to her like he's her father, right? understood, hollering at her, yelling at her for no reason. The male attorney says, hold on. We're not going to be doing it, hollering and yelling. That's unprofessional. He said it to the judge, like, hold on, you going to cut that? That's not unprofessional. Because it is. And he's a power abuser, probably a dude who never got certain girls in his lifetime and can wait to take it out on certain people, or was bullied, and now he can't wait to be in that position to do the same thing to other people, which I hate a bully. I can't stand a bully. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, they can't wait to get these degrees to treat people like trash. I see it. I've seen it at the aid office, right? You got people who get in these positions, getting these good jobs, you know, government jobs, and they can't wait to I'm talking about black people. They can't wait to trash other black folks, right? And then you got people, especially in the system in the court system, you got a lot of black folks who get in these positions, and out of fear of being looked at as you being biased, you know, they don't want to seem like they're biased to black people. They end up treating black people worse than other ethnicities of people, because they're trying to prove to, you know, to the other people around them that they're not treating black folks any differently. So they end up treating black people much worse than anybody else that they're seeing in court, right? Again, some black people get into certain positions of power and stop at nothing for the approval of white folks. White men improve for the approval of white men. You see the white men around, you want to show, hey, I'm hard on black folks too. I'm hard on black folks. I'm not biased to them. And you end up conforming and performing for acceptance, and at the same time being overly harsh and humiliating, denigrating, and you know, embarrassing, and treating black people vile, because you don't want to seem like you biased. And you know, you start, and it happens a lot. You see this in court cases where a black judge will treat black folks much worse than a white judge at times, because they just so busy performing, trying to show, hey, I'm not biased to black folks. Look at me, y'all. I don't treat them black folks no different. Ha ha. I'm gonna get them 60 years for a crime that most people get 20 years for. Ha ha. Because I'm showing you, I'm not easy on black folks. You know, you see people do that. Furthermore, you have other groups of people who when I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna try to say this too. You have people who are in positions of authority over children who do not like children, right? I'm going to say that again. You have a lot of people who don't like children, but they are in authority positions over kids. And they treat them like trash. I've seen adults try to antagonize children into saying crazy things, into cussing them out so they can get them in more trouble. I saw it with my sister. My sister went to a school, a noble school, a charter school in Chicago, Hansberry College Prep, right? And at the school, they could not eat flaming hot, so they only could eat healthy foods during school hours, right? They only could eat healthy foods. So my dad is getting ready to pick my little sister up from school. He picking up my little sister. My little sister is in a waiting area, waiting to get picked up. So she assumed, okay, during school hours, we can't eat this. School is over with. I'm waiting for my ride to pick me up. She starts eating a bag of flaming hots and drinking the juice that she had in her bag, you know, as a snack for after school until my mom get home, right? So one of the custodians, or one of the people that worked in the school, comes up behind my sister and say, I know it got it. That must be real good. It looked real good, huh? I know it's good. And my sister like, yeah, I guess. And she snatches my sister's stuff, throws her stuff in the garbage and says, I guess you won't be eating that anymore. Some crazy stuff like, man, I know it had. I know you mad about it. Something crazy like, you know, I know you mad about that because that stuff looked good. Saying all type of crazy antagonizing stuff to my little sister. She keeps snickering and laughing about it in hopes that my sister will curse her out and snap and get my little sister in more trouble, right? My little sister keeps her composure and then after she leaves, she tells my father and my mother. And you know, my mother up there like a raging bull, because how do you know that this is all, what if that's all we had to eat in the house? You throwing food away when the rule is they can't eat that during school hours. She's on school grounds waiting to get picked up, but school not in. You know what I mean? So she assumed, hey, I can eat it because technically it's not during school hours. I'm waiting for my ride. But she was trying to bait my sister into saying something smart and saying the wrong thing to get her in more trouble. You have adults who operate like this, right? And I see a lot of, for all the people, because some people will be like, well, back in my day, this was tough love. This was tough love. Bullshit, okay? The back in my day people, what I found about them is a lot of them suffered tremendously, and they were looking for somebody to help them, right? And they didn't get that help. from that suffering, and now they want the youth today to suffer tremendously the same way they did. Instead of wanting better, instead of trying to break the chain or break the cycle of ignorance and of terrible behavior, they want to keep it going. Because they got treated worse. They got treated bad, so they want other kids to get treated bad, which is just ignorant and silly, right? But this judge, Kenneth King, this black man, displayed anti-blackness against this young woman while he's a black man in a position of power. That's why a black person being in a position does not guarantee that they're going to do the right thing, that they're going to be for black people just because they're a black person in a certain position of power. And that's why people got to be careful about who they vote for and all that type of stuff too. But, he got in trouble tremendously too, I will say.